It was a relatively short trip from where we were staying in Tansai Beach to the island of Koh Lanta. Though the trip was short, it required a long-tail boat, a ferry ride, and a taxi ride to get us to our hotel in Koh Lanta. The resort grounds were large and overall very nice, although perhaps in need of a little bit of maintenance. We really loved our room, and especially the fact that our patio opened right out onto a pool, which we used almost every day. At about $75 a night, the room was a little over our usual budget, but with breakfast included every day, we thought it was well worth it. We head out to explore Long Beach, where the resort was located.
And it falls down from the tree. Isn't that the coolest looking thing?
Gorgeous. The sand is powder soft, and the water was very calm that day, calm enough to get your laps done. We just took a beautiful morning walk down to the very end of our beach, which was, I don't know, maybe 100 yards away. And it's just lovely out right now. The water is beautiful and calm and clear. There's not very many people out.
It's a great picture spot too. All these rocks on the beach, but the whole rest of the beach is sandy and just nice soft sand. It's beautiful here. Really, really great spot.
Hey, we don't make the rules. A great view like this requires multiple shots. After a tough day of sun, surf, and relaxation, we set out to check out the local ice cream scene. This spot won us over with their fresh, homemade mango ice cream, and Troy's favorite was an iced coffee with a coconut ice cream float.
It's good. It needs to melt a little bit. Dive day.
It's a little nerve-wracking when you're handed a bowl of Dramamine before setting off on a 2-hour boat ride to Koh Haa, or the Five Islands. But fortunately, the seas behaved themselves. We were served a lovely breakfast on our way to dive site number 1. Unfortunately, nobody was taking underwater pictures or videos on this trip, but the above water scenery more than makes up for it. We spent the day hopping around the islands to different dive sites, and every time we surfaced, there was always more food. Time for dive number 3.
Yeah, 2 dives already. Nice lunch. Not enough rest, but it's time to go.
Once dive number 3 was in the books, we started the 2-hour journey back to Koh Lanta.
I mean, donor.
Got a refuel.
Little sugar rush for after diving. That was good dive. Good dive.
We settled in to enjoy the beautiful sunset, some delicious local pizza, and some hydrating fresh coconuts. After dinner, we caught a glimpse of some men performing a fire show down the beach, so we went to check it out. This kind of show is pretty common on the island, as it was in Krabi, where we had stayed before. We're here at 7:13 a.m. to get a beachside lounger. Troy's making lots of noise for my video, but we got some chairs. And almost all of them are already taken at this very early hour.
That's honestly one of the only downsides of that resort is they didn't have nearly enough beach lounge chairs. But fortunately, we're pretty early risers, so it wasn't really an issue for us. We enjoyed our front row seats for good people watching all day long.
Snorkel trip today.
Yeah, we're gonna hit 4 islands. Let's go.
The 4 Islands tour is most often done by speedboat, and while we expected something small and bumpy, the boats were surprisingly large, comfortable, and made getting around quick and easy. Our first stop was Koh Haa to enjoy this beautiful sand and crystal blue water. That's not a shadow, that's a literal cloud of fish that Troy was walking through and that were pretty common along the shore. With literally thousands of islands scattered around Thailand, we knew we wanted to see at least a few. That powdery sand and unreal turquoise water are completely mesmerizing, and we were not disappointed.
Island number 1. And our first stop is for swimming, walking around, taking pictures. We're just here for about 45 minutes, so we jumped in the water to cool off a little bit. But I think the longer majority of our time we're going to be spent at the other islands, which is beautiful though.
Yeah, it was a fun ride over. Got a little rough out in the middle.
A little bit. They're really big speedboats though, so better than expected.
Yeah.
We hopped back on the boat for a short ride to the next island, which really was more like a rock sticking out of the ocean, but that's where we did our snorkeling. Snorkeling here was like dropping into a fish highway. Tons of colorful life all around us, especially the curious black, white, and yellow sergeant major fish darting everywhere in big swarming groups. It was impossible not to be completely mesmerized. Our third stop was Koh Kraden, where a delicious buffet lunch was served right on the beach. The water was a bit rough, so we skipped swimming, but the scenery more than made up for it. We found a perfect spot on the soft sand under a shady tree and spent some time watching everyone else strike poses on this incredible fallen tree at the water's edge. Of course, we couldn't let everybody else have all the fun, so we couldn't resist taking a few shots for ourselves. Our final stop was Koh Mook, a charming little island known for its stunning beaches, crystal clear water, and a little hidden treasure. We hopped in, formed an underwater conga line to make sure no one was lost, bicycled our legs, and made our way through the dark, narrow Emerald Cave to the secret lagoon on the other side. You emerge into the lagoon and wow, absolutely stunning water framed by towering cliffs. But just be ready for a crowd because it's a little hard to feel like you found a secret hideaway when everyone else had the same idea. We reformed our bicycling conga line to make our way safely out of the cave, and you really got a glimpse of why it's so aptly named the Emerald Cave when you see these beautiful green waters. We hopped back on the boat, headed back for our 45-minute ride to Koh Lanta. Grateful to have explored some of the many, many beautiful islands surrounding Thailand. The next day called for a little housekeeping. We tracked down a laundromat for some much-needed laundry, and one of those happy travel accidents led us to the restaurant next door while we waited. We met the owner, a French expat who'd been living here for several years. We enjoyed a delicious pizza and a great chat, swapping stories and chatting about his life here. On this trip, we had some amazing Thai dishes and some that were not so kind to our stomachs, so we balanced it out with a little comfort from some familiar Western favorites. Getting off an island is always an adventure. This time it meant a taxi ride and a ferry ride before landing at the airport. We were sad to end our time in Koh Lanta and Thailand, but we already know that we'll be back. This country captured our hearts with its beautiful scenery, kind and welcoming people, and rich history, and we can't wait to keep exploring.